Let's go. Today we're talking about the workshop battle. I reread this arc recently. It's freaking confusing, even after rereading it. So let's freaking go. Okay, this is coming after the whole Hand of Arlen incident, the Devil's Right Arm mini arc that we have at the beginning of season 2. So everybody is being split up. All the teams are split up. Okay, you got team Sweet and Sour over here. All right, you got Kunagarwanias. All right, it's Kun. We got Kun here. We got Wangnan, Iwa, and then everybody else, because nobody else really matters that much. You could argue Iwa doesn't matter too much. She does, okay? I promise you she does, just trust me. Okay, you have Team Fug over here. Team Fug has Viol, okay? And that's because they kidnap him at the Hand of Arlen, all right? Viol is a part of the team. They also kidnap Kun Ron and Nobik from Team Kun and basically force them to be there as well. But they also have a lot of other intimidating members of the team. You have Reflejo, who's sent from Fug. You have the Devil's left arm here and the Devil's right arm. I know it's hands, they're hands. You probably can't even see their hands, but like good enough, okay? The Devil's left arm is Kasano and the Devil's right arm is Horyang. They are experiments of the workshop, which is gonna matter a lot later on. Okay, then you have Shia, who is Bunny Girl, and then Reflejo. Reflejo is the main antagonist of this arc. He's pretty important. Okay, down here we have Team Shibisu. They're the main characters from season 1. They're the characters that everybody wanted to see back. You got Shibisu, who's the leader of the team. Hot, who actually has a rivalry with Kasano. Kasano defeated him in the past, so these two hate each other a little bit, Hots especially. You got a Knock, who, this is the last arc where she ever does anything, so that's exciting. And then Indorsi, who has a grudge against Juvial Grace. Team Shibisu wants to get revenge because Kun was killed at the Hand of Arlen, or at least reportedly he was, like on the news and stuff. So they're here to get revenge against Team Fug. Okay, then you have Team Mad Dog. Team Mad Dog is the other important member of the team. No other teams matter in this arc. Team Mad Dog has the Mad Dog of Yama. He's not that important. Okay, this arc kind of hypes up Team Mad Dog, but they're not that important. You don't really need to worry about them. So the goal of Team Sweet and Sour is to get Viol back and also to get Horyang back. These two right here, they were the members of Team Sweet and Sour that were taken by Fug. It's a whole thing, but first they have to enter the workshop battle to do so. The workshop battle begins with one shot, one opportunity, which is a game all about shooting your friends. You have the light bullets and the dark bullets, all right? Light bullets, if you shoot your friends with light bullets, they get sent up to the Archimedes, which is where the workshop battle is gonna take place. And then the dark bullets, if you shoot somebody, they fail and you get to pass the test. They also hand out 3 items during this game. They hand out the Bong Bong, which goes to Indorsi here, which lets her teleport. You have the White Heavenly Mirror, which goes to Kun, and then the Blood Tamara, which goes to Baragov. That last one is not gonna matter at all. But there are some pretty important things that happen here. So one of the main things that happens is that Bomb, or Viol, meets this guy named Traveler, all right? Traveler is this guy who you think he's really important, right? You think he's really important, but he does nothing, and not just this arc either, right? He does nothing throughout the entire series, but he is kind of prevalent in this arc. He's here because apparently this robot AI called Emily summoned him here. Emily is this sentient robot, right? Which, if you ask it questions like on your pocket or your smartphone or whatever, it'll tell you the answer to any question that you ask. But apparently Emily wants Traveler to save her. So that's like a whole thing. Traveler ends up getting captured and sent to jail by Indorsi, but not before he actually reveals to Indorsi Bomb's name. He tells her that Juvial Grace is actually named Bomb. Rack rejoins the party because he wasn't there earlier, along with Pericule. Pericule also joins the team, Revolution and all that. And funnily enough, Pericule actually has a very important role in this arc that we'll discuss later on. And then Team Shibisu actually makes a move against Team Fug because, again, Shibisu wants to get revenge for Kun and everything. So Shibisu actually ends up clashing with Bomb alongside Amigo Chad. I don't have him down here. I'm gonna draw him right now. Another member of Team Fug named Yuto ends up getting captured by Team Shibisu, but Viol ends up coming in and saves her. We don't really know much about Yuto right now, but she's pretty important later on. Another thing that happens is that Hots, from over here, fights Team Fug as well. He ends up fighting Kasano, the Devil's left arm, because Hots lost to him in the past, but he actually gets some good blows in. He cuts up his arms a little bit. It's kind of sick, but Kasano still wins and breaks Hots' sword. Why am I wearing freaking headphones? Okay, so after this, Hots has to get a new sword, right? So he ends up going to the Acorn There goes my marker. The Acorn Workshop. This is very important. This is where they do all the living human ignition weapon experiments. And it's kind of just out in the open because Hots ends up just kind of wandering in there. Just kind of, just accidentally. To be fair, Emily tells him where to go, and he meets somebody named Beta. Now, remember how Horyang and Kasano, they are living ignition weapons. They're actually the first living ignition weapons. They come from the Acorn Workshop. Well, they have halves. The devil inside of them are halves of each other. Beta is actually a complete ignition weapon. We end up seeing Horyang and Kasano, they reunite with Sophia, blah, blah, blah. Hots gets captured, but later on, he asks Emily how to escape, and she tells him how. There's a secret exit under his bed, and he ends up escaping and meeting up with Lei Ro Ro, their test administrator from the second floor. Lei Ro Ro is the GOAT. Then we move on to the first actual game of the workshop battle, which is called Battle X Gamble. 10 gamblers are supposed to bet on who they think are going to win each of the rounds. So all the regulars from all the different teams are divided into groups, and each of the groups has 3 winners. They have to stick their plug into the hole. If they do, they win Battle X Gamble. But the gamblers have to bet on who they think are going to win, and the more points they accumulate, they can use it in the next game. Things go pretty smoothly. Everybody who's important passes. Unfortunately, Misang, gosh, I drew her so small. This is Misang, she fails, so rip Misang. But she kind of gets a power up in doing so. We end up learning more about the Mad Dog of Yama. I promise you, he's not important whatsoever. I'm not kidding. But it's still pretty cool. We just get to see them in action a little bit. The main event that happens during Battle X Gamble is the fight between Kun Ran and Anak Jihad. All right? This is one of the most famous fights of the series. It's some people's most favorite fight of the series. It lasts a few chapters. It's really cool. The reason this battle is so important is because at this point, all the gamblers basically are betting between which of these two is gonna win. They know they're not both gonna win because they hate each other and they've just wanted to fight this entire time. So they have to bet on which one. Kun ends up betting on Ran, they're both from the same family. And then Shibisu bets on his teammate Anak. All the other gamblers place their bets. Guess who wins? It's neither of them because Pericule comes in, ruins the day, and he makes it so that there is no winner of the game. What this means is that they basically, none of the gamblers except for Reflejo right here, and except for Ran Mei, who are the gamblers of those two teams, they're the only ones who have any remaining points after what just happened. So the gamblers end up having to meet up with the workshop staff to figure out how they're gonna proceed. The workshop staff is kind of important. You have Punk and EO. I got those backwards. Punk and EO. These are the two hosts of the workshop battle. They're being funded by a guy named Madarako. Madarako, he is known as the Catfish, and he's very ugly. So you know it's him when you see an ugly man. He's basically funding the entire event. He's like a merchant and stuff, and they're gonna be important later on. Okay, so next, Bomb reunites with his friends. Endorsi over here, Iwa over here, Rack and Pericule end up all reuniting with Bomb. This is a big deal. Bomb finally gives in and basically agrees that if they can rescue him, he'll go back to them. The entire reason he's stuck on this team is because if he doesn't agree to what Fug wants, Fug is gonna kill all of his friends. So essentially, this is a moment where he finally kind of gives in, almost is a little selfish here, right? He meets them again, and they're all going to climb the tower again. It's a beautiful scene. Shout out to Pericule. They would not have been able to reunite with Bomb if not for Pericule. Revolution, let's freaking go. What also happens around this time is that Beta, from the workshop once again, meets up with Viol. This is a very important meeting because both of them are complete ignition weapons. Now, Bomb is like the more perfect complete. If this is a gacha game, we have Horyang and Kasano. They're like 3-star characters. Beta's like a 4-star. He's like better, but Bomb is the 5-star. Like, Bomb is what you're after, right? So earlier in the arc, Bomb was given what's called a fake thorn. The thorn is something that will give Bomb the ability to basically kill Jihad. It was found on the 43rd floor, which is where Enryu killed the administrator. This is not the real thorn, it's a fake. Basically, it's getting Bomb ready for the real thorn. It's basically making him compatible, and they're gonna win and get this real thorn during the workshop battle. But this is something that Beta brings up because Beta says, hey, why don't you go and steal the real thorn, right? Why not go and steal it and then you won't have to like beg and follow Fug anymore. You can then run away. So during the growth tournament, Bomb actually does this. He goes and steals the real Thorn, but this is where he gets betrayed by Reflejo and Beta. Beta was released by Casino. Now they're working together. They are the ones who trap Bomb in this room with the Thorn, and the big brain plan of Reflejo, and aka his sect of Fug, is to melt Bomb with the Thorn, because then anybody can use the Thorn. It's actually a pretty smart plan, because Bomb was injected with a demon that would allow him to ignite the Thorn, because not just anybody can do that. So this demon inside of Bomb would allow him to do that. But what if you actually melted Bomb into the real Thorn? So the plan is to combine Bomb with the real Thorn. If you combine them, then Karaka can use the Thorn. Boom. All right, so Reflejo is actually a servant of Karaka. So he's doing all this so that Karaka, the new Slayer in town, can be the true owner of the Thorn. But the biggest Uno reverse card happens because Yuto, the person who Bomb rescued earlier, is actually not Yuto, but Hwaryun. Hwaryun, the guide from Fug, the one who's always following Bomb's guide, right? She was in disguise as Yuto, and she tells Reflejo, hey, remember that fake Thorn that you gave Bomb earlier? That's actually not a fake Thorn. It's actually a container for the real Thorn. So it's not a fake, it's actually a container. So when Bomb is trapped in that room with the Thorn reacts to the container and actually releases Bomb from that room. But there's still a problem, right? Because Bomb is still like in the hands of Fug. They need to help him escape. So the plan is during the growth tournament, which is the final game of the workshop battle, they're going to summon him. This game is all about summoning teammates, right? It's all about putting a team together and summoning them and stuff. So the plan is we'll summon Bomb to us and then we'll escape. The growth tournament, all right? This is the final game. We'll summon Bomb, we'll rescue him from Fug. There is a slight issue because Reflejo ends up blocking off all of the exits to the regular summoning center, right? So it's like, shoot, we can't summon Bomb. Hwaryun ends up coming up with a big brain plan, which is Bomb is a regular, but he's also an item, so we'll summon him through the item calling center. So that's what they do. Wangnan starts summoning Bomb from the item calling center, and it seems like everything is going dandy until Beta shows up again and stabs, where is he? He stabs Wangnan through the heart. Wangnan lives somehow, I wonder why, which is a big deal. And Wangnan basically survives long enough that Bomb can be summoned. During this time, Lauro, sleepy guy, he's freaking down here somewhere, he ends up also fighting Beta. Iwa comes in and incinerates the parasite inside of Beta, which allowed him to participate in the workshop battle. Viol is summoned. Viol and Beta end up having a big fight, and Beta basically reveals his motives. Beta doesn't like Bomb because even though they both suffered, Beta has no reward for it. Bomb has all the friends, all the women, all the power, and Beta doesn't have that. So he thinks it's only fair that Bomb suffers just as much as he did. Bomb knocks some sense into him, I mean, he knocks him around a little bit, but then workshop employees show up to restrain Beta until Leroro shows up and saves the day. Because he's the GOAT. It seems like everybody's here. The Bomb reunites with Kun and Rak. Everything is dandy until something really bad happens. Hwaryun was left behind and was captured by Reflejo and by Team Mad Dog. I guess they were kind of important because at the very end, they betray Team Shibisu. Team Shibisu was working with them initially. They betray everybody and end up working with Team Fug. They're basically the same team. Mad Dog is from Fug. So Hwaryun's captured, which is pretty bad, obviously. So that's Kun. Kun, Rak, and Bomb decide to go save her. Each of them has a new item, right? Rak gets a new spear called the Mad Shocker. He summons it from the item calling center, which is actually pretty important. It's pretty strong, I should say. Kun has the White Heavenly Mirror, which is very useful. We'll find out why. And then Bomb, of course, has the real Thorn. So Bomb is stacked. Everybody's stacked. We have this huge climactic battle. The trio fight Reflejo. Kun is able to save Hwaryun using the White Heavenly Mirror. It's able to store her inside of the knife, which is pretty exciting. And by using all their powers, lighthouses, White Heavenly Mirror, Mad Shocker, and the Thorn, and reverse flow control, they are able to eventually defeat Reflejo, even though he's using the powers of a B-ranked regular through the shadow given to him by Pokin, who works for Karaka. But there's one more problem. Even though Reflejo was defeated, the room where they fought Reflejo is the room that they're going to use to melt Bomb with the thorn. Bomb and Coon and Rat cannot escape. Reflejo doesn't care if he dies. It's actually revealed that Reflejo, the reason he's all gung-ho about all this, is because he doesn't have any eyes. His eyes were cut out because he looked at a potential princess of Jihad. Just tower things, makes sense. And Dorsey ends up arriving though and saves the day with Bong. Saves the day, teleports them out of the room. Reflejo is incinerated and boiled alive. Rest in peace. So what happens then? So they end up actually kind of all reuniting, but Madarako, the merchant who funded all of this, makes a move. He kills Punk and Io, the other two hosts. Punk and Io were promised Emily. They were promised that they would receive Emily after all this that happened, but Madarako betrays them and instead gives Emily, right, to Kasano. Traveler ends up finding Kasano. Where the frick, where's, there he is. He finds him and Kasano explains that Emily is just a flask. She was a human that was basically turned into a living ignition weapon, and they're going to use her in the future. She's very good at like screwing up guides, their ability to see paths and stuff. So Traveler, for some reason, then joins up with Team Fug, aka Kasano. We don't really know too much why, I guess because he still cares about Emily, even though she's an AI in a flask and all that stuff. And Madarako, he basically is trying to end this whole operation, and it's almost working. Leiro, Ro, and Quant, who's also there, end up fighting the rankers that Madarako has, and it's looking kind of bad for the good guys until a certain someone finally makes a move, completely shuts down Madarako. Po, Dao, Gustang. All right, if you remember anything, it's that Gustang, the leader of one of the 10 great families, shows up, shuts down Madarako, and basically says, all right, your time is up, right? And it's implied that Pobadao Gustang was the one who planted the thorn here to begin with. And his intention was to give this thorn to Bomb all along. And with that, everyone reunites. Beta actually becomes a good guy and joins with Bomb's team, kind of. So that's kind of cool. Beta just, he moves on. You know, he has to talk to Sophia, everything's good. Kasano ends up stealing the other half of the devil from Horyang, which puts Horyang into a permanent sleep, basically. So Goseng from Team Sweet and Sour ends up just taking care of him for like years and years to come. Horyang is permanently unconscious. But aside from that, I mean, everything works out really well. You know, the heroes all reunite. This is the first time they've really, truly reunited, all of them all together. There aren't really any casualties, you know, everything works out really well. This leads into the Hell Train, which is, in my opinion, the best arc of the story. I know people differ on that. But overall, that's the workshop battle. I'm sure I left out a lot of details, so please comment down below details you think I should have included in the final cut. This was all from memory. I didn't script any of this. That's kind of the point. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. I would really appreciate it. What else should I do here on the channel? What else would you like to see? Because for this video, no one really asked for it. You know, it's not like anybody was requesting this video. It was just something I thought I should do. So if there's anything like that, comment down below. I love hearing your suggestions. Let's make some more content around Tower of God. With that being said, take care, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.